Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and I am here today with Mr. Robert Oblon. And Robert, we've not talked publicly like this in quite a few months, so I want to get an update on where 2021 has been and what you're seeing for 2022. So how are you and the family doing?
Family's great. It's Christmas time in Indianapolis, and my wife is all about Christmas. So, but everything's great. Everyone's happy and healthy and good. Very
Man,
good.
that's what I like to hear there, because if you're good at home, then it makes it easier to deal with everything that you've got to deal with as a founder and CEO at a company level. So let's jump in a little bit there. Where is Amplifei coming out of 2021 and what do you see for 2022?
Well, there's a loaded question. 2021 has been an amazing roller coaster ride. As you and I have been doing this a little while. This year hasn't been much different from the aspect of, we just had our convention 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And every convention I do kind of a State of the Union, but I have this presentation. You may have seen it. It's, basically there's no straight lines. And I show sort of my journey since 2009. So it's a multi-year journey, and the squiggly lines are, beyond a roller coaster. They're all over the map. And it's because this is a very difficult profession to be in from an ownership level. So, but it's no straight line. So this year, we just closed out November, our second biggest month of the year, which is an epic achievement. November and December are typically flat. And we had an amazing week this last week. We have pretty significant momentum. You always look at engagement from, I look at Facebook engagement, when we make a post or a question or whatever that is, when I have hundreds of comments and hundreds of likes and hearts, I know I have engagement, right? And it's a great barometer in this profession to see, who's engaged, who's doing what. And then of course, sales at the end of the day, sort of depicts how well you're doing. So we had a really, really rough summer, Troy, for a plethora of reasons. The recovering from that is what we're going through very positively. It's just been, to answer your question, and me, just full transparency.
Sure.
It's been another interesting year. That being said, what I can see very clearly, the whole community that we're in, is that we navigated through all those storms, if you will, and we're really primed to hit 2022 like a bullet. We think December is going to be really, like I said, we're in new momentum. So even with the holidays, because of that, I think, again, we're going to explode into the first quarter of 2022 with some of the things that we've been building this year, prepping for what's coming next.
Okay. And when we launched, because I've been with you before you took this adventure, which has been an honor for me, but we launched with just a few products, and now we've expanded that. How many new products did you bring out this year?
Well, we have now 8 revolutionary products. We started with one, Tributyrin, our BioMyX, and then that morphed into, by the beginning of this year, what we call the gut health triad. That's 3. It's still our flagship. We're a gut health nutritional science company, although we've recently morphed into cellular health because we've learned a lot. We have an incredible scientific advisory board. But we just launched this week, day before yesterday, a new bundle, which is our core 7 products. So we have the triad I just mentioned, and we also last week launched the Immune Health Trio. So that's another bundle of 3 that has to do with immune health. So revolutionary technology around immune health bundled with the gut health. And then finally, we also just rolled out our new nutritional beverage. I don't want to call it a shake. It's really micronutrition. So it's a drink. It's a powder you can mix into water or anything, you might blend together. But the outcome is the micronized nutrition that is the sort of the point of eating in the first place, right? Is so that you can extrapolate, your body can extrapolate nutrition out of the food. The problem is with the standard American diet, we live in a country with 95% of the US population has leaky gut syndrome. And that's partially because we're eating really poor quality food with no nutrition. So we've got this technology that allows us to reverse the damage of stress and lifestyle and the standard American diet. But we still need the nutrition for us to heal the cells. Troy, I was on a Zoom last night talking about sort of a mantra that people don't really understand yet that we're starting to push out there. And that is, we're organisms, right? As a human body, right? So in order to fix the challenges that we go through from a health perspective, we first have to fix the cell. Because when you fix the cell, you fix the organ. And when you fix the organs, you fix the organism. So we've morphed all of our revolutionary technology into nano and micro technology so that we can help people on a cellular level, because that's the core of what's going on. There's too many companies, too many products, and forget the pharmaceutical world, that only put a Band-Aid or suppress the health challenge and don't get to the root of what we're doing. So to answer your question now, we have a product bundle. It's called the Neo 7. It's our core 7 products. It doesn't count our original coffee, which is revolutionary by itself. Right. And when you consume these 7 products combined, a single serving is only $11.03. Wow. So for $11 a day, you can literally transform your health with 7 different products. And the thing is, a lot of companies, they tend to try and be all things, all people, and make one magical product, or that's the intent, but it's impossible. You have to attack this cellular health from different angles. For example, we just launched a revolutionary one-of-a-kind silver. And the secret to our silver is size and shape. It's a spherical nanoparticles silver. So it's less, it averages 7 nanometers, which is smaller than any other silver out there. Small, it's a nano product, right? Also it's round, spherical. So there's nothing else literally on the planet that compares to this product. But what it does is it by itself, if you're familiar with, how a virus looks, right? A virus is usually spherical, round, with receptors, little, microscopic or nano receptors. And those receptors are seeking out your healthy cells. It attaches to your healthy cell, injects its poison, whatever the virus is, and then it basically kills the cell. Well, this nano silver technology actually muddies on a nano level, those receptors. So helping to reduce or prevent its ability, the virus, to attach to your cell. So that's one product that is part of this bundle that is revolutionary. And we're in an epidemic right now of viruses, not to get like political, but it's kind of crazy out there.
Well, it is, and it's a combination. I mean, it seems like every day there's a new virus popping up of some kind. And and you mentioned America. I've done a lot of studying after getting involved with you on that gut-brain connection to realize the American populace, we eat as a whole for taste. It has nothing to do with our health, and then we wonder why we're dying and can't afford our health insurance. So to have something like this that can fight at these different angles, I do think is something that's important. I also think it's what we're going to see as a wave in the future. Companies that just want to crappy put out products, they're gonna disappear. And I don't mean they're not just going to keep coming back, but we see where the general mass populace doesn't want crap anymore. We see Reddit threads, we see regulators. I mean, it's really a back to the future moment. When I was watching a documentary, I guess it was last Saturday, about the turn of the century from the 1800s to the 19th century, or to the 1900s. And they used arsenic in these little bitty wafers because it would kill red blood cells and make women look pretty. Well, we see where we've come today to know that's a poison that kills people. So I think with you putting out these products, with the team that's been put together to keep revolutionizing where we're going for the human health, I think it's going to be a wave of the future of what we're going to see other companies start to follow and do.
Well, you said you said a lot of stuff there. I'd like to address the elephant in that statement, and that is, in this distribution model, there's too many companies putting out either copycat, Me Too products that aren't what they say they are. I mean, there was a company went out of business last week because, you know, they were selling crap, frankly. So that we, as you know, and I've been doing this for years from this standpoint, is separating the product brand from the opportunity, because more than ever, the end user consumer, if they find out a product is from a quote unquote direct selling company, they won't buy it because too many companies have put out too much garbage. So when you have revolutionary technology that we pride ourselves in having, you know, we call them unicorn tiers because there's nothing else like them, like this Pure 47, the silver I just mentioned. There's nothing else like it. So the true benefit of this distribution model is word of mouth based on your results or outcome of a product that works. That's supposed to be what direct selling is, but it's so convoluted with frankly, the crap of MLM, right? And at the end of the day, what you said is, we're selling products. We're selling nutritional health products that don't have, in my case, and I say this very humbly, but we have products that don't have competition in health and wellness. Forget the distribution model. Right. I have products that don't have an equivalent on planet Earth, but it gets muddied because of the distribution model, right? So that's part of, you know, the challenges to overcome of wanting to be having a home-based opportunity for home-based entrepreneurs selling revolutionary technology, but having to be in this muddied environment of the distribution.
Well, something there, because I mean, I've been able to see the behind the scenes on something that you just really put together. It's been several months in the making, but this new B2B2C model that you have orchestrated with some pretty powerful individuals, is that part of where you're seeing the future? Hey, let's put this where we can really bring in Main Street entrepreneurs that want to make additional income and help their people, or is this something just was out of the blue?
No, listen, imagine a model, Troy, where you could be a home-based entrepreneur, meaning you're selling products from home, like old school direct selling. You buy something at wholesale, you sell it for retail, you keep the difference, right? That's how this all started.
That's true.
But imagine a model where you could accomplish that and not have to recruit a single person. So I've attempted this B2B2C, which I crafted years and years ago at a previous company, but I didn't have what I have today. But the B2B2C, business to consumer, is a new, it's not new per se, but it's new for us, but it's new from the standpoint of how we've modeled it has never been done before. And that is your opportunity. When you have a health and wellness product line like we have, naturally, you would want to share it with health and wellness practitioners, people that are in business to help people's health journey, like a chiropractor, any doctor, a naturopath, an acupuncturist. I don't care who it is that is in business in the form of, let's call them patients, that could use and should use our products. So the B2B2C is very simple. our reseller, which is our home-based entrepreneur, who's independently contracted to share and sell our products to make money, has the opportunity now to go enroll a wellness practitioner, a business that's already in business, that already has patients in the form of customers, so that that second business is then influencing their customers, the C, B to C, so that those customers fuel the volume that's traditional in a compensation plan. So you can maximize a comp plan without recruiting a single person by simply going out and finding businesses that have customers. It's revolutionary.
Well, this blows me away, because I'm thinking of the way the pharmaceutical industry goes into doctors' offices. Now they use employees and they're peddling their drugs. Here you're saying, wait a minute, let's take this to the Main Street entrepreneur, and instead of them having to learn all about being a chiropractor and acupuncturist and all that, they can just go in and say, look, we have something here that can help your patients that are going through a situation. And these guys end up really growing their customer base, or keeping them solid, because they become more of a one-stop shop than just going in for an adjustment or a massage or something like that.
So much bigger than that. Because we have technology that they don't have to reverse the damage of what they're trying to help people through in the first place.
Wow.
Number one. Number two, we're offering them something they don't have, and that's a residual income, because their customers then get on subscribe and save, an automatic shipment, creating a residual income for that practice they've never seen before. And then we've created tools and trainings. I brought on the #1 wellness practitioner coach in the world. His name's Coach CJ Mertz. He's taught over 16,000 chiropractic teams around the world. He's leading the charge of the B2B2C of how do we train our home-based entrepreneurs to go have that conversation? How do they get in the door? How do they get past the gatekeeper, right? How do they have the conversation to introduce our products in the first place when they're competing with all these other, so-called product companies or opportunities in the wellness industry? So it's revolutionary from a few different fronts, but from getting back to the home-based entrepreneur in our company that's a reseller, they have the opportunity to fuel the volume. As you know, Troy, I don't care what the comp plan is. All of it is driven by volume, right?
Sure.
So here's a way to generate volume and displace recruiting a body that's only going to go out and get, onesies and twosies, which is too common, and recruit a wellness practitioner that has hundreds, if not thousands, of potential customers in the form of patients. And then you said something else. This is a way they can reactivate customers that haven't been there before. This is a way they can create new customers. There's a whole method to this program that is an extension of what we're doing in this distribution model. And it's the way we're doing it, it's never been done.
Well, this would help. I mean, as I'm trying to envision this, if I go back to 2020, when the majority of the states at one level or another went into a lockdown because of concerns about the pandemic, I'm assuming chiropractors and those type of practitioners, they had to close their offices too. This would be a way for them to continue making money, but continue servicing at a new level their customers or their patients. I guess we wouldn't call them customers, but their patients then.
All of that. And, I've learned a lot about chiropractors in particular, but wellness practitioners, a lot of them popping up now. You're seeing IV bars and other, wellness type businesses. But, the average chiropractor only makes about 50 grand a year personally. They don't make that much money. The majority, there's a lot of them, like, Dr. Eric Naputi, one of our other chiropractic partners, he makes, they make millions. But it's for such a time as this, Troy, they're still entrepreneurs too, right? A chiropractor or wellness practitioner, they still are in business for themselves, right? They've leased an office. They went to school, they became some kind of doctor. or a wellness practitioner. And ultimately, even though, they have a desire to help people in their wellness journey, they're still in business. So that's why it's the business to consumer. They're still looking for ways to monetize their patients and customers. And again, adding that residualized income is huge for them.
Well, that makes sense. And you just triggered a thought for me, because my original chiropractor sold her practice to a new gentleman, but he's had to, because he's taken on new debt because he's paying her off. They've now got a masseuse in there. They do something with cellulite. They've got some kind of facial deal. I mean, he's having to bring in other practitioners just to bring in new revenue so that they can afford it. So this would be a good way for him then to expand himself. But this brings something else new. I mean, a thought anyway. We're in the MLM space. We have this, what I've coined as a churn and burn situation sometimes. With this new B2B2C model, it seems like differentiates the Amplify opportunity to where, okay, I can take pride in the fact I don't have to just go out there and try to recruit 100 million people online, offline, my friends and family. I can actually be a business owner. I can go out here and attract other business people then. And that would lower possibly a churn rate that we see in other companies.
If I could be so bold as to say that model, it's dead. And I've been saying this for a few years now. You have to realize, Troy, that a home-based gig, we're in a gig economy now, right?
We are. Yep.
Our competition isn't other direct selling companies. And I don't even use those three letters anymore that you just said, because to me, it's over. Our competition is Uber and Airbnb and Lyft and the other gig type opportunities that exist for someone that wants to work from home. So I have to be able to compete in that world now, not in the old passe. Again, I believe it's dead, which is why we're in a time and place right now where it's worse than you and I have ever seen it. I'm talking about the deal culture. I'm talking about this hater mentality where people are. I'm baffled by the amount of people out there propping themselves up by tearing other people down. These assassination attempts by so-called leaders are. We've never seen anything like what's going on out there right now today, which is unfortunately helping what you just said, this mentality of company jumpers or companies going out of business because they were never in business properly in the first place, had all the wrong reasons to do what they do, usually out of greed and ego, right? But what happened to having revolutionary products and the facts tell, stories sell result of that, sharing word of mouth from home? That's still there, but it's so muddied. You can't even see through the water right now because of the deals that are going on out there, worse than I've ever seen it. So what we are doing is we're amplifying out of that once and for all. And the B2B2C is the first leg towards that. The next one is what we call the influencer model, where for example, Troy, our number one customer gatherer isn't in the direct selling profession. He's an influencer. He's got a podcast, and he has 5 or 6 times more customers than my number one customer gatherer in the direct selling business.
Wow.
And so the influencer model enables us to create co-brands or funnels to our Happiness Brands products, and they never have to participate in the so-called direct selling or genealogy. They're in the genealogy, but what they're doing is doing what we are intending to do, and that is acquiring customers, changing lives with the products. And then finally, where we're going to end up with this 3-pronged approach is that we as a company will go direct to consumer and then bring those consumers into the funnel and then distribute those customers or consumers that we as a company bring into the funnel and then distribute those, what I would call orphans, to the people that are qualifying for them as home-based entrepreneurs. So when we get there, and it's coming very soon, we're going to be able to separate ourselves to another level out of that, what we've been talking about, and that's this culture. We don't even say the word culture anymore over here, Troy, because of the word cult inside the word. We have a community. Yeah. And I could see very clearly where we're going to be in another 6 or 8 months. And it's the new world. It's the new path. And other companies that don't embrace it, they're not going to survive what's coming.
No, I'm going to say that I've got to agree with you on that. And it's not from an internal perspective. It's from realizing how much conversation is taking place by people that are outside of that MLM community. When we look at major publications writing critical and negative pieces about the space, when we see former 6 and 7 figure earners that have left the communities that they were in because it wasn't what they were promised. Their health has gone down, marriage is broken apart, they had to work more than they would at a 9 to 5. When we see regulators and even advocacy groups out there saying, okay, this isn't right. And yet inside, I get this a lot of times, and you and I talked offline, I told you I'm getting rid of some clients for this, but they still have that old mentality. Hey, who can we bring in? Who can we go after? Hey, that company just went down. How do we go after all their people? It's like, why don't you sell products and bring in people that are excited about your products? And these guys, I think little by little, they'll disappear. And part of that, now you hit on something, and I saw something happen the other day. I saw a group of individuals get together and create this new acquisition company. And they're looking to go out and find network marketing companies, MLMs, not for the field force, it looks like, but for products, because they believe, oh, those products had merit, but they were not the focal point. It was the comp plan. And I agree, it's dead. That part of it is dead because people have prostituted it out so badly that nobody's going to put up with it anymore.
I think, the compensation plans of MLM, as I think it was Amway in '79 that created the first multi-level marketing plan. And the rest is history. That is the problem. It's the nuances of the qualifiers and the ranks. And what we've seen in our own company, because I've been a sort of a slave to it, trying to build a direct selling company in the current culture line. And that is where too many people come in and ride the benefit overrides and bonuses of other people's work. That's what's broken. That one singular thing is what's broken in network marketing across the board, is people coming in, first usually done by a deal or some placement benefit, so you can get the benefit of all these other people doing the work, yet you don't go out and sell anything. You don't go out and bring anybody, and that's what's broken. That's the problem.
Well, now, isn't that like and I don't mean this from a political standpoint, but that's like social economics is, hey, we'll all share. I don't have to do the work.
It should be. So that's where I'm going, right? So the flip side to that is there's a whole lot of great people that are out that want to be their own boss, that are serious about their business, that are putting in the work, that are frankly killing themselves to be home-based entrepreneurs in this business model, but it's fraught with what I just said. So what if you can create a model where those people who are doing the work through these programs that we're putting together, and yet can benefit from a global level. And I don't mean planet Earth, I mean a global compensation level, where they can benefit from the total of the sales volume, because they're the ones out bringing in the volume or bringing in the companies that have the volume, like the B2B2C. So there's a model that exists that you can be Just for the sake of this conversation, let's call it a super affiliate, right?
Okay.
So everyone's familiar with affiliate programs. Every company on planet Earth has an affiliate program. You could be an affiliate of Amazon, right? Actually, Amazon is entirely affiliates. You could be an affiliate of Expedia, right? You can have your own affiliate link. A super affiliate is where you can benefit from other people's work, but only those that are actually doing the work. So you can create a community where everyone benefits from everyone else. That's the outcome. That's the goal, right? What we want to do is reward the people that are actually in business for themselves, doing the work ethic, and eliminating, and I say this, eliminating the people that are just riding everyone else's coattails. That's the problem, is that they're coming in through this culture, and then to add insult to injury, you have I won't even, I won't qualify them as leaders, because you're not a leader if all you do is talk negatively about someone else so that you can recruit them into your new company. That is part of why no one wants to be in this culture anymore, because there's too much politics and drama and bullying, frankly, by so-called leaders who use that as fear-mongering and tyranny to harm other people. But that's dying because people are tired of it. People are tired of coming in out of fear. They just want to be their own boss working from home. That's really all they want to do, and still have the benefit of the community. Troy, we could still get together. We can still have conventions. We could still have training events. We could still get recognized and acknowledged for our accomplishments, but you don't have to do that in that old dead version.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. And I think you said something a little bit ago about culture and cult. And when we look at stuff that we see on the news or we read about cults, when a person tries to leave the cult, it's exactly what you're talking about inside of direct sales. They're lambasted, they're trashed, they're ripped apart. And sadly, we're seeing this across the board. The division in this country anyway is it's across every spectrum. And I think we're seeing it real heavy right now because people want to live in the past. So it's like, well, I had a great run over here, so you need to follow me. And then when you find out that they never had a great run, they just were part of a deal-making process. And these same companies now that we see still doing these deals haven't learned from all the lawsuits that have transpired. We've seen companies that have gotten sued because of these deals. And it's like, you shouldn't be doing that. And yet these people want to do it.
If you want to just call a spade, Troy, the reason the companies continue to do it is because those owners are in the downline. Plain and simple. They're not operating a business like a business. They're the top of the food chain. They're in the downline, so they don't care. They have an exit strategy. Let's see if I can make a couple $1,000,000 in a couple years. And if it doesn't work out, I'll go do it again. That's maybe the biggest problem in network marketing today is the owners are in the downline. They're the ones doing the deals. They're the ones bringing the people in and giving them the placement or allowing that to happen. They're manipulating the genealogy. They're the problem. It's not the leaders are taught by these people, but they're the problem.
That's true. Yeah. And once they're taught, then they get that confirmation bias that, well, this is just the way it's supposed to be. This is the kind of people we want to hang out with. And you see demise after demise after demise of good people like you're talking about.
You have more people quitting MLM, swearing it off forever because they got screwed and tattooed by some unscrupulous lying owner or leaders that are just fear-mongering and bullying and tattooing people left and right. So people are like, I'm done. I'm going to go drive an Uber. And that's
but think about this, Robert, you hit on something. I'm going to go back to something that we've talked about for years now. And it is that gut brain connection. And if somebody has that much anger or hate or whatever inside of them, why can't they realize that okay, you're killing yourself more than you're killing somebody else, and you need to let that crap go. And they don't seem to. They just seem to hang on to it.
It's called ego. You have a whole lot of ego, maniacal, frankly, narcissistic behavior in this profession that too many people running around with a God complex thinking they're the reason. And that trumps your health. It trumps your brain to gut connection. Ego is an incredibly diabolical thing. In fact, I like to say ego is edging God out. EGO. There's a lot of godlessness in network marketing. There's a lot of people running around using, faith-based acronyms or conversation to recruit people, but there's just a lot of fakers and liars, if I'm being honest, with huge egos, and therein lies the problem. So I hear what you're saying. We are seeing people all the time feeling a lot better, a lot happier. The serotonin's being, driven in their body again because they're reversing the damage in their microbiome in the gut. But if their ego's too big, it don't matter at the end of the day.
Well, I think that's
Sorry to be
noticeable.
so blunt about it, but
No, I think that's good. Well, I want to end on a high note because I know you've got a busy day ahead of you and stuff. But going into 2022, are you guys back to where I know you said you had your convention? Are you going full bore now in 2022, saying, look, we are just going to build this thing, we're going to change lives and let the past be the past? Is that the goal now? You got new products coming down. What do you think you're going to do in 2022?
Troy, I only teach focusing on tomorrow. We the best way I can say is that we've never stopped. I've never stopped. I'm a broken record. I have to navigate in, around, over, under obstacles. And unfortunately, most of the obstacles in this profession are humans. But going into 2020 is just a continuation of what we've been doing for a very long time. And really, it's been, we're in gratitude. So to your point on a high note, a lot of what has transpired that has been difficult to navigate through has really been a blessing because it's been a purge. We've been cleansing too many people that have been attached to that culture we've been talking about. So 2022 is an exercise of getting out the other side, which we already have done, and continuing to prove concept on these things we've been talking about. The wellness influencer program is in the form of the B2B2C, influencers as a whole, and then pure customer acquisition to the benefit of those that will participate in the new version of home-based entrepreneurism in this direct selling world. But Troy, I could tell you in 2022, we won't be an MLM.
Got it. Well, I think what you've shared offline and online, parts of all of that we've seen outside of the direct sales space and how that has worked for different companies. So I think being able to put that into one hybrid mix can truly give that Main Street entrepreneur whichever direction they're looking, that'll give them an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to give this a shot and see how this works for me. Because at the end of the day, we can give them the best opportunity. They got to believe it in their heart. And if they don't, then they're not going to make it. But if they've got something that's legit, they should be able to go rock the house on this.
It's so stupid easy. Yeah. It's two things. You have revolutionary products, which you have to have. Otherwise, why bother being in this profession? And then what Larry and Taylor Thompson talk about, natural logical conclusion. It's that simple. If someone has a result from the products they're consuming, all they have to do is tell the story of their result. And the person they're telling the story to has a natural logical conclusion that they should try it too. Period. End of story. That's as easy as it is. Anyone can do this. We just got to eliminate all this other stuff we've been talking about.
No, that makes total sense. And I appreciate your time today. Give Laura a hug for me. I haven't seen her either for a while. So I can't wait to be able to get together with you guys, break some bread and have a good time coming up the first of the year and just see where things are going.
All right.
All right. For everybody else, you guys have an awesome holiday. Merry Christmas. That's what we celebrate. Whatever you celebrate, have a great one. And we will see you the next time Robert and I get together.